I am Keith Purscell, and I am a retired pastor. I have been in religious service for a total of about 56 years. 46 of those were as a pastor for two local congregations. The schooling that I received in preparation for ministry really were with two Bible colleges for undergraduate study. I went to Johnson Bible College, which is located east of Knoxville, Tennessee, for about 1.5 years. And then I did 2.5 more years of study at Nebraska Christian College. I did take 1 year of graduate study also at Lincoln Christian College, which was in Lincoln, Illinois, and it was more intense study. I spent 15 years preaching in churches after that 1 year at Lincoln, and decided to go back to seminary and finish my seminary degree while I was working in Kansas, and went to Phillips University, the theological seminary that was located there in Enid, Oklahoma. The major responsibilities that a person has in ministry is, first of all, to really serve the people who are there. And in order to do that, you must know them. And it doesn't work to just look somebody in the face and then not really learn what was happening in their life and how they got to where they are. And this is both true of a congregation, but also of the individuals who are there. Most of my sermon years, they were, for regular services, were from the pulpit. And I finally remembered and recalled and thought more about it. And in most recent years, for a formal occasion, the pulpit's fine. But for a Sunday morning or a special service, get out of the pulpit and get out there with the people and engage their eyes and their minds and encourage dialogue in the best way that you can get it. Sometimes the expression on their face, sometimes the uneasiness with which they hear some words, and sometimes if you ask the right question, you can even get feedback and answers from them. That's where I find myself with the greatest joy, is sharing the message in that kind of way. Since my retirement, I have indeed had the opportunity to continue my ministry. And it's been manifest, first of all, with some fill-in preaching, whereas the pastor's going to be on vacation, I get a chance to preach. And so I fill in. Then also, there is that call to come and to do an interim ministry, since I had the training, and I have done 5 of those. The preaching that I do is really aimed at what it means to be in the midst of change. When you're confronted by this change of direction, you can manage it if you can make the turn. A lot of what I do in the leadership for responsibilities is to have them look at their past, know where they are, know where they want to go and where they want to be. And this is really something the churches that I have served have had pastors that have been there for 10 years or 12 years, one for 23. And it's a threat to them for that change. The advice for someone who is entering ministry, just prepare yourself for surprises, because you're going to get caught off guard on one side or the other, positive or negative. But don't give up and take this walk with God. Let it be a walk with God. Probably, as far as questioning of faith is concerned, most of us have at one time or another found ourselves in a situation. My first wife died of complications of disease. Why did she have to die? She was a very gifted and talented person. And I suppose you go through that. I was questioning, how come that had to happen? But most of the time, what I have experienced is that God has helped me walk through something, and I'll look back and realize I might have asked some questions about that, my own faith, but that God was there. My future goals and plans are really to continue to walk with God, and with that awareness, that spiritual experience of being in the presence of God and knowing that God is there. And what does the Lord require of you? But to do justice, and to love kindness, and to walk humbly with God.